Alright, welcome here to the Fresh and Funky Sports here on a Wednesday, the 8th. I think I put the wrong date here. But the 7th here. Whoops. Well, needless to say, we're getting closer to the Super Bowl. Obviously, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but we got the college basketball to talk about here. Obviously, March Madness will be ensuing here. Uh, Pretty much, well, we're still little over a month and a half or so. We're getting closer. But yeah, it was Super Bowl, Sunday here. We got Chiefs, we got the Eagles. We'll talk about that here. But we want to get through the college sports first. We're going to talk college basketball. The big games here tonight, well, I think the big games are, and a couple of the women's games as well. Then we'll get into the NBA, and, where we'll spend most of our time talk about NBA and the NFL, talk about the Super Bowl. We'll get into some, obviously some news and notes of, sorts here. Obviously, Derek Carr visiting the Saints. Is that a done deal? Obviously, the Vikings signed defensive coordinator. Brian Flores is our defensive coordinator now. Rumors are Minnesota Vikings are looking to dump Dalvin Cook. Here, I don't know if that's just speculation, rumors. I mean, that would only save us about $8 million in cap if we trade or cut him. I think that would be a very, 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 very bad mistake for us to cut Dalvin Cook unless we're planning on drafting a running back in the draft. But needless to say, we got this matchup here between Creighton and Seton Hall. And right now, you got Creighton is ranked number 23. They're ranked 23 in the top 25 in the college basketball, men's college basketball. They're 15 and 8. They're playing Seton Hall is 15 and 9. So both these teams have won 15 games, and give or take, Creighton's only lost one less game. So, this is going to be a good matchup here in the Big East here tonight here in Seton Hall in New Jersey. Because that's what Seton Hall's in. It's New Jersey, alright? New Jersey. Alright? The Jersey fucking Shores. And sorry, I don't do very good fucking Italian Jersey accent. But, yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a good game. I think definitely Creighton, probably Creighton has the advantage here. But, how much advantage when you're coming in on the road playing at a hostile environment and playing against Seton Hall, against a team that's, they're not terrible. They're just as good as you are. So, I mean, I think this definitely is going to be a close game. Definitely whoever wins is going to only win by, single digits here. I don't think, well, unless one team just plays like shit. And that's just how it goes. Sometimes some teams, it was supposed to be a closer game than expected, but boom, we all thought the Niners and Eagles was going to be a closer game. And what happened there? Eagles blew the fucking doors off the Niners. I'm not saying the Niners were a garbage team or sucked, but the Niners got their shit pushed in. And it happens on any given sports day. Any team, whether they have the best record or the worst record, they can either push someone's shit in or get their own shit pushed in. All right. So that being said here, I mean, if I have to take a side tonight, I'm probably siding more or less with Creighton here. These little Blue Jays over here, the Blue Jay mascot over here. I would side with them a little more than I would side with Seton Hall tonight. So, all right, let's go to our next game here that we will be talking about. It will be, let's see. Well, it's this game here. Colgate. They're the Colgate Raiders. They play in the Patriot League here. going up against, likes of Lehigh. Lehigh. Lehigh, the old Mountain Hawks here. Just turn the damn note just a tad bit. There we go. So I mean, most people wouldn't even care about the either one of these two teams here. Um, Lehigh is 14-9. Colgate is 17-8. So I mean, Colgate's 3 games away from winning 20, and so that for a team that's not a big named college, it's a big deal. So Colgate, tonight I think they hold the advantage over Lehigh, but I think Lehigh is a competitive a bunch of players, and I think that they're going to compete tonight here. It's going to be a lot closer game than most expect. I obviously they think Colgate's going to come in here and blow the doors off of Lehigh, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than most expect here. But Colgate is obviously the better team. The team I'm going to probably side with here, I think Colgate wins here, but a lot closer than most would expect here. I'd say they probably win by at least by 5 or 6 maybe. I mean, I know that right now it's 11.5, so they're favored to win by 12. So I think half of that they can, because like I said, I think Lehigh they're competitive bunch of guys out there, the competitive college basketball team. So I mean, regardless of their record is as good as Colgate's here, they've shown to be competitive. So when you have a competitive basketball team going up against another team that it's going to be good college basketball, to say the least. Alright, and after that here, let's talk about this next game. So like I said, I'm siding with Colgate here to win. Colgate and Creighton so far is who I've deemed my and so far in the next game we have Fordham. We have Fordham Rams. They're from the Bronx. The Fordham Rams are from the Bronx, and they're taking on UMass. The Minutemen here. We got the UMass. Alright, so interesting matchup here. Obviously Fordham has the better record at 18-5 here. UMass is 13-10. I think Fordham probably wins this one. And probably convincingly. But I think UMass, you can't ever count out a team like UMass, I mean, the best player that ever came out of UMass, in my opinion, was Marcus Camby. And they've tried to be competitive. And, they have a 13-10 record, so they're 3 games above 500, so it's not like they're a below 500 school. So they're competitive. I think they will keep it competitive here tonight against Fordham. I think Fordham will have to win this game outright by playing, obviously good basketball, and can be able to control the runs and be able to have more, more scoring runs and being able to get some stops in order to, win this game outright. And I think they can win this game outright here against UMass. But I think, like I said, and this is an A-10 matchup here. So the Atlantic 10, a lot of these teams, they love to play against each other, and they play competitive basketball in the Atlantic 10. So I'm definitely leaning towards the Fordham Rams here. Definitely leaning towards them here to win tonight here. Alright. Then the next game we have West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Yeah, West Virginia here, and usually West Virginia generally has a solid basketball team. You generally, as far as college basketball, college football and basketball, they both have. But it's been not the case this season here, and they'll be going up against the likes of Iowa State here, who's ranked and they're undefeated at home here. So Iowa State, they're number 11. They are 16 and 6. West Virginia is 14 and 9. Definitely a big game here. Big game. West Virginia could get a big resume win here. Could help. And Iowa State, man, they're on a roll here, so they can keep the ball rolling here in Morgantown tonight here, and get a tough but good win here tonight here. Helps them solidify themselves in that conference here. Obviously, you had the likes of TCU's ranked up there, Kansas State. You had Kansas and Texas. I mean, you got competition in the Big 12 here, and Iowa State is a formidable foe. And I think tonight here, I'm leaning Iowa State in my heart, because I think West Virginia just doesn't have it. I mean, could they be competitive here tonight? I think they can, but I just think Iowa State is the better basketball team this season. They put it together. They've won some big time games, and so I'm a believer here. I'm buying into Iowa State, and I think they go into Morgantown tonight and definitely get the dub. All right. The next game we have here is North Carolina Wilmington here. Them Seagulls here, them Seahawks. I mean, Seahawks. Seagulls. Listen to me, sound all. And they're going up against the College of Charleston here. Against some Cougars at Charleston here. Them Charleston Cougars here. Alright. So there we are. There we have it here. We have Alright, we got Charleston. College of Charleston. I mean, they're 22 and 3. I mean, definitely a great mid-major school. That definitely, I am going to be looking at them as one of the dark horse teams that could possibly make a decent run in the NCAA tournament. That being said, I mean, tonight here they're playing against Wilmington, who is 19 and 6. So, I mean, tonight Wilmington gets a win here, they'll be 20 and 6 here. Charleston would be 22 and 4 here. So, I mean, it's gonna be a tough game here. I mean, it's in Charleston here. I actually got it switched around, but it's okay. We just got both teams up here. So I think Charleston wins here tonight here in a close game. In a close game here, I think this game is going to be. I'd say it's probably going to be decided by at least 3 points, 3 points or less. This game definitely. These two teams can compete against each other. I mean, Charleston could blow these guys out, but I doubt that. I don't really see that happening tonight here, so. Alrighty. So let's see here. The next game that we're going to talk about here is Oklahoma State. Going back to that Big 12 here, that Oklahoma State here. Yeah, Oklahoma State here, and we got Texas Tech here. Oklahoma State, the Cowboys here. Generally Oklahoma State generally has a really good basketball program. This season they're 14-9, so they've kind of been on a down, on a down season here. Yeah, they usually play a lot better. They're usually one of the top teams in that conference here. But that shows here how competitive the Big 12 has gotten now. And then you have Texas Tech as well here. Texas Tech is 12-11 here. Usually Texas Tech is a heck of a lot better. They really have had it down. So this is a matchup of two schools that have kind of are having the teams have kind of regressed a bit. So I definitely love this matchup. I think definitely this is going to be a close matchup, as it can be here. I mean, obviously Oklahoma State could probably end up winning this game, being at home here, and Texas Tech is just generally doesn't have that team that they normally have. I mean, last year they were a lot better, way better than they were than this year, and so I'm leaning Oklahoma State. I just think Oklahoma State basketball is playing a little bit better than in Texas Tech right now, but I think it's going to be a closer game than, like I said, I think this game can be decided by at least 4 points or less. And like I said, I'm siding with Oklahoma State here. All right, so now let's go to a matchup that most people probably not going to recognize here. It's out here in the West, out here in the West, one of these teams here, out in the West here, Utah Valley here, Utah Valley. We got Utah Valley out here. We got the Utah Valley versus California Baptist here, and both these teams I believe are in the I believe both these teams are in the WAC. This is a WAC matchup here. So we got the Mormons versus the Baptists here. No, just joking, just joking. Don't cancel me on Don't cancel me on because I said the Utah Valley were Mormons and then the California Baptists were some sort of Christians. Needless to say, California Baptists they started the season off pretty good, but then they kind of fluttered out here. They become 13-11. Utah Valley has had a extraordinarily great year here. They're 18-6 here. And definitely the team I'm picking tonight here, I think Utah Valley is the better team right here. California Baptist can play competitive at times, but I don't know. Utah Valley has beaten some pretty good competition so far in the season, and I just think that they are the team, and definitely a team that you could look at it possibly maybe being a team making a little bit of noise. Obviously they gotta win outright in their conference and win the conference tournament and all that other stuff. But I think, Utah Valley is a sleeper team out in the West that most people aren't talking about. So yeah. So I'm definitely leaning heavily on Utah Valley tonight. I think they win, at least by 5 or more. So, all right, with that being said here, let's move on to the next matchup here. We go to a Big Ten matchup here. We got the Big Ten matchup here. Looks like this match is going to look more like a college football matchup than an actual college basketball matchup here. We got Penn State at home at College. And they're taking on these Wisconsin. Taking on Wisconsin over here. The Badgers of Wisconsin here. So I mean this right here, both teams are Wisconsin is 13-9 and Penn State is 14-9. Wisconsin lost to Northwestern earlier this week, so it's going to be a tough game here. This game definitely one of the games of the night that you definitely don't want to miss as far as college hoops. These two teams right here, it's going to be within I say at least 3 to 2 points here is going to be the finish here. I think Penn State has a good enough team to compete against Wisconsin here. But we'll have to see if Wisconsin can just finish games off here. Because it seems like they play well, but then they just don't finish the games off in the second half. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna lean Penn State here. I lean Penn State barely here, but I think Wisconsin could pull a road victory off here tonight. But I'm leaning towards the Penn State Nittany Lions as far as my pick. And then last but not least here, as far as college games that we think are going to be really relevant and interesting. Well, no, we got actually 2 more. I lied about that here. Yeah, 2 more games that I want to talk about here. All right, so this one here we got an SEC matchup here. We got Alabama. We got the boys from Alabama taking on Florida, the Florida-Georgia line. So, I mean, obviously, Alabama is the better team right now here. Between these two here, Alabama is ranked number 3 in the nation, 20-3. They've only lost 3 games on the season. Florida is 13-10. But quite honestly, playing their best basketball right now here. You know, it didn't start out looking good, but they've kind of found their way a little bit here. So don't be surprised if Florida can kind of keep it close in this game here. But I don't know. Alabama is a really good, really solid top, solid team here. This Alabama basketball team is probably going to make their football team look a little silly right now this year, especially because they're ranked number 3 here. And Alabama, we all know how happened in football here. They had kind of a down year here, but, hey, college football, there was a lot of good teams in college football this year. Obviously, the championship game didn't go the way everybody thought it was going to go. Everybody thought TCU was going to be competitive, and then they got the doors blown out on them against Georgia. But what can you say? Georgia is put it together. They're back-to-back champs, first time in a long time. So we'll see what happens next year. But Alabama's doing it in basketball, and tonight I think they do it again here against Florida here. I'm taking Alabama here. I'm taking Alabama. I mean, I root for Florida in football. And, I hope the best for them. I hope they play tough tonight against Alabama. I hope they give Alabama a tough game tonight here. But I just think Alabama is the much better basketball team right now. And I know that they have what it takes to be able to finish off the Gators and keep themselves in the top spot and give themselves a chance to be either a chance to be a 1 or 2 in the upcoming, All right, so... And then last but not least here, I want to talk about this matchup here, obviously out in the West Coast. We got a West Coast matchup here. We have Utah State here. We got Utah State here. We got Utah State here. We got Utah State, and they are at home tonight. They're 19-5, taking on number 25 ranked San Diego State here. San Diego State, the Aztecs here. Definitely always a good matchup. San Diego State's always had a, peripheral, basketball college here. So, I mean, now Utah State, man. Utah State has a, so this tonight, a game that most people aren't going to expect here. This is gonna be a barn burner here. This is gonna be 2 teams that definitely know each other very well and be able to play each other precise here, as far as the men's college basketball goes here. I'm going to give a slight lean to San Diego State here. A slight lean here. But Utah State's going to give them a tough matchup here. I feel, San Diego State, they generally have a lot better, a little bit better squad, but this has kind of been down a little bit, but they're still competitive enough. And Utah State, so this game is going to be a competitive one. And one most people probably don't want to see or not going to want to see because it's going to be too late. It's going to be on 7 o'clock West Coast time, obviously 10 out there in the East Coast time, and so on and so forth. If you do your time zones. So yeah, so yeah, we definitely go there, and let's talk about a couple ladies games right now here. Couple of the ladies games here tonight here that we want to talk about here. The first game that I want to talk about for the ladies is going to be the ladies from Rhode Island here. The ladies from Rhode Island are taking on the ladies from George Washington. Alright. Alright, the reason why I'm bringing this matchup up here is both these teams, they play in the same conference, the ladies Atlantic 10 here. Both teams, the ladies from George Washington are 16-8, which is really pretty good. And I actually seen them play, they're actually pretty good. But the girls from Rhode Island are 19-3, so these girls can play some basketball. So I'm siding with the Lady Rams here in Rhode Island. I think they'll get the job done, but I think the ladies from George Washington are going to give them a game tonight. And so that's why I picked this game, and I think, this ladies' game is going to be a good one that most people don't even understand. This will be competitive. The ladies from Rhode Island, they know how to ball. They've only lost 3 games on the season. These ladies from George Washington, they've lost 8. They've are a competitive girls basketball team that will go out there and play you tough. And that's what this is what the ladies women's hoops is about. They play together, and no matter what, they will fight together. And like I said, I'm siding with the Lady Rams of Rhode Island tonight here. All right, the next game we're going to talk about here is the ladies from Vermont. The Lady Catamounts here. We got the Lady Catamounts out here. Taking on the Lady Black Bears of Maine here. So alright. There we are. Alright, so, reason why I'm bringing up this matchup here is the ladies from Maine are 12. The Lady Black Bears are 12-10. The Lady Catamounts are 16-6 here. So the Lady Catamounts have been on their game, and they have been on the prowl. And so, this is obviously apex predators, to a lioness, cougar, or mountain lion, or going against a Lady Black Bear, Mama Black Bear, in the animal kingdom, this will be a vicious fight. Maybe the bear wins, maybe the cat wins, who knows. But I'm going to go with the Lady Catamounts here tonight at home here to win here. And I feel that they have the best advantage to win tonight here against the Lady Black Bears of Maine. And then, last but not least here, for the ladies games, I think is going to be a good game here. the Lady Golden Eagles of Marquette. They are taking on the Lady Huskies of Yukon here, and the number 4 ranked Lady Huskies of Yukon here. And so obviously, my pick here is going to be the ladies from Yukon here. They're 23-1 here. The Lady Golden Eagles of Marquette are 15-8, so they're not a slouch team here. But the Yukon girl ladies team has, they've gone through a little bit of adversity. Obviously, they're not the top dogs so much anymore, as mostly South Carolina is. Now, as far as the on the women's side, South Carolina has been dominant, but Yukon ladies have been there as well. The Lady Volunteers of Tennessee, they've kind of fallen down as well. The ladies from Stanford are still there as well. I mean, you have some other, ladies teams. Ohio State Buckeye girls are competitively up there now. I mean, we have some competitive teams here in the ladies game that most of us aren't realizing and not giving enough respect to. And so the ladies of Yukon tonight, I think they take care of business on the road by beating Marquette handily. So I think, I think they're going to definitely go on and go to 21-3-1. So, all right. All right. So with that being said here, let's see here. All right. So before we get into or an NBA or anything like that here. There we go. We got the Eagles. And then we got the Chiefs here. Let's talk about Super Bowl here. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Alright, let me get this Chiefs logo up here. Alright, so we got... this is the big enchilada everybody wants to talk about, right? We got Chiefs, we got Eagles here. Before we get into the NBA here, I mean, NBA is pretty self-explanatory, but I wanted to kind of get into some NFL here. Want to breeze through a little bit of college here because college starts before anything else, but, get our sports talk like we normally do, and like I said, nobody's usually here when I'm live talking, but I don't care. I mean, I do what I do, and I know I sound like a broken record every day saying what I have to say, but I say this shit because I have to say this shit, because until people start recognizing I ain't here to be no one's best friend. I ain't here to step on nobody's toes. I ain't here to be the best guy. I ain't here to tell you that I'm gonna win you a bazillion fucking dollars here. But what I will tell you here is I love sports. I love watching. I love watching sports. I love watching the things. I try to take it from a different point of view. I try to take it from both sides of the point of view. Regardless if I feel strong for one side more than the other, I try to make a compelling case for both teams and both sides for both arguments. Because I feel like a lot of people when you're having these sports discussions, I feel like too many people try to be on one side more than the other. It's fine if you feel if you're more strong to one side or another, but in an argument and to build a debate, you have to build, you know, things on both sides, you know, pros and cons, and be able to explain to give people and to give people to kind of connect things and give people a picture of how things work. Obviously, how the Eagles and how the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl. Well, obviously the Eagles were, probably one of the better teams. They were probably the last team to go that were undefeated that lost. And kind of towards the end, they were roughed up a bit here. Jalen Hurts' shoulder got bumped up a bit, got roughed up a bit, and obviously cost them a game against the Cowboys and this and that. But it still didn't seem to bother them very much because even though they almost lost to the Giants too, to the third stringers and this and that, but then once they had their bye week, then they played the Giants once again. They basically kicked the shit out of the Giants. And then last weekend, they basically did the same shit to the 49ers. And so, I look at the Eagles as they're a team that is healthy right now. Number one, they're healthy. They're healthy in all the right positions. And they're playing efficient football. They're playing like they're having fun. The coaching, everybody seems like they're all on the same page. It just seems like the Eagles have got their mojo, okay? It seems like the Eagles' mojo is there, okay? So, speaking of them getting there and their mojo getting there, let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, on the other hand, well, they started off pretty hot as well, and they were pretty good, and then they kind of fizzled out a little bit here and there. But then let's talk about the playoffs here. The game they played against Jacksonville. If Trevor Lawrence does not throw that red zone pick, I believe it was like that late third quarter, early fourth quarter, I don't know. We're talking different ball game, but Chiefs found a way to win that game. Last weekend, Burrow, all the talks of Burrow, it's Burrow ahead. Burrow owns fucking Patrick Mahomes in the matchup wise. Beat him last year, made him look silly. The defensive coach made Mahomes look like a fool, and Andy Reid and all those other guys made them look like a fool. Mahomes ain't 100%. His leg got hurt. And then Mahomes got re-injured in that game, and then there was a couple plays that maybe some people say was rigged for the Chiefs and Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl. But needless to say, they got the job done, and they ended up beating the Bengals. Mahomes got the proverbial Joe Burrow monkey off his back, and now they are here in Arizona to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. So that's how we got here. Obviously, the Chiefs got more injuries and things concern them a little bit more than the Philadelphia Eagles are concerned about here. But it's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl. I'm just going to say this. When you got a guy like Jalen Hurts people have doubted this guy, have written him off, when, obviously, he got sad at Alabama. He won a title, but then he got sad because he got hurt, and then he won a title. Then he left Alabama, went to Oklahoma, won the Heisman, and won the national championship. And then, faced a lot of criticism last season. Oh, Jalen Hurts, he's all he's is a running quarterback. He's not good. He can't pass. He doesn't have a number one receiver. Well, they got him AJ Brown this season, and, and they just he looks like a different quarterback. He looks like a guy who's on a mission. They're putting the offense around him. They're putting the players around him to make him look good and make him look efficient. And same thing with Mahomes. Everybody thought, Mahomes ain't gonna do shit. Oh, Mahomes is right. Mahomes off. Mahomes and Chiefs ain't do nothing. There's no Tyreek Hill. They're done. They're bunzos. They're bozos. When Patrick Mahomes had statistically one of his best careers, his career years passing wise, and that's why both these guys are up for the. I believe I think it's the NFL honors and the rewards for MVP. I believe it's Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Justin Jefferson are the top four. I won't be sad if Jalen Hurts wins MVP, and I won't be sad if Mahomes wins MVP. Either one of those guys, in my opinion, they deserve the MVP this season. And obviously, Josh Allen, and some people can't move out of the way of the fucking of emergency vehicles outside. So that's why you hear them honking, going, because people just don't fucking get out of their fucking way, and they should just be finding people. More or less, they should do. They should call in that person, say this person didn't pull in, and they should have a thing that says and shows their fucking. It shows your fucking this, and then basically has the police show up to you and arrest you. Because, it's somebody's life or death in emergency, and these people are not moving out of the way. They got to do something about it. I'm sorry. I understand if you're kind of blocked in and this traffic is stopped and you can't go anywhere, that's a different story. But there's some people that just, even though it's not blocked in, they just still cut off these vehicles, and these, and you wonder why people can't get to, emergencies and help people. And it's could be life or death. That those seconds in those precious minutes that they can't get there could be, someone's life in the balance. But some people just don't care because they're selfish and it's all about their life and not anybody else's life. That's just one man's opinion out here. But yeah, the Eagles and Chiefs here, you definitely let's check out the line right now. Let's check out the line here on this game here. I want to see the line here. Let's see what the number is right now as far as the over under. Obviously we know probably, what Chiefs are probably going to be the underdogs. I'm assuming here. Let me just, Super Bowl. Alright. Alright. And I thought it was a joke that Gronkowski has to kick a field goal here, but apparently that's a prop. There's a prop here. Bet on the kick of destiny. Oh man, I'm telling you, Gronkowski's got to kick a field goal, and that is just. Alright, alright, we got let's see, the number is -1.5 here. Eagles are favored to win by a 1.5. Kansas City is plus 103 on the money line. 51 points is the over under here, so very, very, very interesting here. A lot of people will probably say it's going to be a high scoring. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be the motherfucker that says it's gonna go under 51. You mark my words. You mark my words. It will go under 51 points. Right now, right now, like I said, I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. So, if I was, early lean for me, Chiefs money line, the under 51 right there. That is what I'm looking at right now. So, all right. So now that we have talked about the NFL a bit here, let's just Alright, we're gonna have to go to... Okay, so the first game here, we got Pistons and Cavaliers here. Go to NBA here, let's put up the Cavaliers here. We got the Cavs here. Let's put the Cavs because they're at home tonight here. They're taking on the Detroit Pistons here. Like I said, we'll get the Chesty Dusty records out here. We'll get our trusty dusty records out here for both teams, as we always do. As we always like to do here. We always like to make sure we have the... So, let's get the Pistons record here. Let's see what the Pistons record is here. Alright. Alright. Here we go. Let's go. Boom! There we go. Pistons are a whopping 14-41 here, so... Yeah. Less than desirable. Less than desirable. That is definitely for sure here. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have a record of Alright, let's put out the Cavaliers record here. 32 they're 34-22 here. So the Cavaliers, obviously, we ain't gonna get too much into this here and explain and as far as giving our predictions here. We're just gonna say who we're gonna win. And obviously Cleveland's gonna win this game here, hands down, against the Pistons. We don't even need to go into any more discussions here. The Pistons are 14-41. And the Pistons are a very bad basketball team. I would say one of the worst basketball teams in the NBA right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers, definitely hand, foot, night, day, whatever, way better and should win tonight. Even if it's a close game here, I still take give me Cleveland tonight. Give me Cleveland all day, every day. Even if Donovan Mitchell was not even playing. Alright, the next game we got here, we got the Wizards and the Hornets here. So, interesting matchup here. We got the Wizards and the Hornets here. the home team? Oh, it's the Wizards here. The Wizards are the home team here. Okay. Alright. Alright, the Wizards are the home team here. Let's and then let's put the Wizards record up on here. That way we can get everything right here. Alright. Alright, the Wizards record is 24-29 here. So not too bad here. Not too bad of a record here. Let's get to our Charlotte Hornets here. Let's get to these Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte. Alright, we got the Charlotte Hornets here. Alright, let's do their record here. The Hornets record is alright. Another team that has not played well this season here is the Charlotte Hornets here. 15-40 here. That, I mean, the talent they have with LaMelo and those guys, I mean, they should be a lot better than 15-40 in my opinion. And they're just, I mean, they have Gordon Hayward there, but he's been injured all along the way. Terry Rozier, obviously, you know, they Miles Bridges saga before the season even started. No, I'm taking Wizards. Wizards tonight are gonna hand down the Hornets. Even though the Wizards are they're not a terrible team, but they're not a very good team. I'll just put it that way. The Wizards got shit to figure out, and if they could figure it out a little bit here, they'd be a better 500 team here. Instead, they're 5 games below 500. But I think they're a hell of a lot better team than the Hornets are tonight. But who knows? Maybe the Hornets come in and actually play a fucking basketball game for once in their lives against the Wizards, because the Wizards lost to the Nets this week. So, I mean, but the Nets are playing a hell of a lot better basketball than they have been. You know, maybe getting rid of Kyrie Irving was maybe the thing that they needed to do. I don't know. But tonight, I'm taking the Wizards at home. Not very too confident on that here, on the confidence poll, but I think Wizards definitely the better basketball team than the Hornets here. But the Hornets might be able to come up and surprise and pull a game out of their ass. Having LaMelo gets, scores 50 tonight, and then nobody else in the Wizards does shit. But I mean, I'm still hand-picking the Wizards just by default. All right, let's go to the next game here. The next game we have is a lot better game here than what we have to talk about so far here. You got the Boston Celtics here at home taking on the 76ers here, welcoming the Philadelphia 76ers here. Alright, so let's see. Boston Celtics record here, let's just put that in here. We'll put their record up here. Basically, one of the top games of the night. I'm gonna say here. Look, just kind of just gently looking over the slate here. All right, Boston has a 38-16, one of the best records in the NBA right now. And they're welcoming in the Philadelphia 76ers, which, are playing really good basketball as well here. They're the top team in the NBA right now as far as the Eastern Conference goes. Them and the Milwaukee Bucks. So, all right, Philadelphia 76ers, let's go. All right, Philadelphia 76ers. All right, let's go and let's look at their Alright, let's look at their record here. Let's put their record in and we'll talk about the game here. We'll talk about what we think about the game here. Because I think this is probably the best game of the night. Yeah. Alright. I'd say tonight, best game on the slate here is this game right here. 76ers and the Boston Celtics here. Both these teams have very good records. They got great players, great talent here. Boston is the better team right now here, but tonight I'm leaning Boston here. Boston, there's no way Boston loses this game unless they just don't shoot the ball very well tonight, and they just can't, and they just let James Harden and let the 76ers and Embiid just roll them. But I think the Celtics definitely win this game here tonight, and it's the best game on the hardwood because I'm a believer in Tatum and Jaylen Brown and the guys that they have here. Celtics are just a better team, top to bottom, even the backups, the supporting cast guys, the guys coming off the bench. 76ers are a good team as well. They'll keep this game competitive, and that's why I think this game is the best game on the night here. Two the better teams with better records playing the better basketball against each other. So if you're going to watch a game tonight here on the hardwood in the NBA, tune into the Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers, and you will not be disappointed. All right, let's go to our next the next game here the next team that we're looking at here will be the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat here. The Miami Heat. The Heat. Yeah, the Miami Heat. They're at home here. Alright. They're at home here tonight here. Home in South Beach here. Let's move this record up here. But let's put their record in here so we know exactly what their record is, and everybody knows exactly what the Heat's record is here. Alright, so their record is 29-25, and they are taking on the Indiana Pacers here. And the Pacers here, we've seen them play very well here as of recently here. We've seen the Indiana Pacers play well as of recently here. Yeah, so we're not gonna be Debbie Doubters here when it comes to the Pacers here. They have they've kind of started to play better basketball here, so. And I like this matchup here with the Miami Heat for them here. All right, so we got the Pacers are 25 and 30, and the Miami Heat are 29 and 25. But I think this is another good game on the slate NBA here tonight. Here, Miami plays well at home. They've been starting to play a lot better here, trying to get healthier. And same thing with the Pacers, trying to get healthier, but they're playing significantly a little bit better than they have been here. I know they're 5 games below 500, but they're better than the record has shown so far. The Indiana Pacers are. And Miami, 29 and 25. They've like I said, they've had some rough spots with guys being hurt. Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Bam Adebayo. Some of those guys, Tyler Hero, some of those guys being in and out of the lineups, being hurt. And so that's why the Miami Heat record is what it is. And I'm taking the Heat tonight here. In a close game against the Pacers, though. In a close game against the Pacers. Alright. Let's go to the next game here. Next game we're going to talk about here is we're going to the OVO. We're going to the OVO here. We're going to the OVO here. OVO. Got the Toronto Raptors here. Alright, we got Toronto Raptors here. Alright. Just a little bit bigger. There we go. Alright. And we'll put the Toronto Raptors record on the screen here. They are not 29 and 25, that is for sure. The Raptors are 25 and 30 right now here. And they are taking on the San Antonio Spurs here. The San Antonio Spurs here. And we'll put the Spurs record up on here. And then we will get to the talking about the game here. Alright. Let's talk about this game. Obviously, Toronto's the better team. San Antonio is another team that is struggling, but they're a young team. They're a young team, so it's not like it was expected for them to be a better team this season. So I'm not so down on them here. Yeah, they are probably one of the worst teams in the NBA, but not because of choice, because they have, one of the younger, rosters in. And Pop doesn't mind it because he feels like he's getting the best out of it, and he doesn't really care about winning championships. He just likes to coach. And so it's not like the Hornets, which they made the playoffs last year and they didn't do shit. So that the Pistons, there's another team that's just young, and the Rockets, and obviously Orlando. But Toronto definitely is going to win this game here. I think pretty easily, hand down here. I mean, it might be a little tough here. Spurs might give a little resistance, but I think Toronto wins this game hands down. No questions asked here. No. Alright, so let's go to the next game. And the next game will be, speaking of one of those teams that is not very good here, the Houston Rockets here. The Houston Rockets here. got the Houston Rockets here. And their lovely record here. and I mean it with the most sarcasm here, with their lovely record here. But again, they are a young team. That is why their record is 13-41 here. And they are taking on the Sacramento Kings here, who have been on fire as of late. You know, they've been playing tough here. The Kings have been holding court here. So let's get the Kings record up on here, and we'll talk about this game as we always do. I mean, like to break it down just a little bit. I mean, some games are more or less, we could talk about. Other games, it's like Alright, so the Kings record is 30-23, and the Rockets are 13-41. So tonight, I mean, depending on if Jalen Green plays, and I think the Rockets, you know, put up some points here, but I don't know. I think Kings definitely take this one here. Kings definitely take it to the better team, and even if De'Aaron Fox still isn't back with the team, I still think Kings are the better team. Even if it is a back and forth close game, I still take the Kings here over the Rockets. Rockets are just a young developing team. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade here. All right, then we got the Utah Jazz here. We got the Utah Jazz. We got them Utah Jazzy boys. We got them Utah Jazzy boys. We got them Utah Jazzy boys. Alright, so we got the Utah Jazz here. Let's get their record up on the screen here. They're definitely not 13-41, that's for sure. Utah is the Utah Jazz. They are 27-28 here, and they're facing off against the Minnesota Timberwolves here. So this is another good matchup on the night here. You've got the T-Wolves out here. We got the T-Wolves here. And let's put their record up on the screen here. They're definitely not 30-23, that's for sure. Alright, so they're 29-28 here. I like this game tonight here. I like it a lot. You got Rudy Gobert going back home, playing his old team here, and the Jazz have been playing well here. And I'm going to just say it here. I think the Jazz win here tonight. I think the Jazz win here tonight against the Timberwolves, but it's going to be closer, a lot closer than most people expect. I'm saying it's going to be at least maybe a 3-point victory for the Jazz here tonight. Here, I think it's going to be a lot closer than most are expected here. I think Rudy's going to play a hell of a lot better than he is, but Walker Kessler is starting to turn out to be a pretty good. Him and Lauri Markkanen together, along with the other guys that they have there with the Jazz makeup. And the Jazz will be an interesting team. They're an interesting team. Like I said, they're probably, to me, the best team that play together as a team with a makeshift of players that, been on certain teams have, they've been good, but they haven't been that guy. So now the, that team, could be dangerous. And then, obviously Timberwolves can get healthier, and I think they'll be a better team. But right now they're just not healthy enough and not getting consistent enough basketball. And that's why I'm picking the Jazz tonight here. All right. Then we have, we got two more games. Two more games on the docket here. Let's take this game here. We got the Los Angeles Clippers. We got the Clippers. Clippers and the Mavericks tonight here. Do we see Kyrie Irving here? Do we get to see Kyrie Irving tonight here? Is all I want to know. Is, are we gonna see Kyrie Irving tonight here? All right, let's see the Clippers record here. We're gonna put their record up here. And like I said, I think this is gonna be a matchup. I mean, obviously no Luka Doncic here, but a better matchup of teams in the West here, the Clippers, and like I said, we have the Dallas Mavericks here. Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks here. The Mavericks. Let's see. Let's put their record up here. And let's talk about this game here. Because this game is going to be a good one here. In LA tonight here at the Crypto Center. Obviously, I'd like to see Kyrie Irving play tonight. That'd be nice. To go along with Tim Hardaway Jr. and obviously because Luka's not playing, obviously he'll probably the best shot maybe Friday against the Kings. So we ain't gonna get to see the Luka and Kyrie show together here, but I'll be curious to see Kyrie how he plays with the other guys first, and then kind of see how he plays with Luka here. And because the Clippers, I think, they've been able to figure things out here, and they're going to play tough here tonight. And the Clippers' record's 31-26. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard has been playing like a man on a fucking mission as of late here. So, and by them playing that way, the other players on this Clippers, Reggie Jackson and stuff like that, these guys have stepped up now. Niggas Batum and all that. Same thing with the Mavericks here. So I like this game. I think if the Clippers Kyrie does play in this, I think the Clippers win by at least 3. At least by 3 tonight here. Alright. Definitely, like I said, definitely another good game on the hardwood. Be here. And then we have, last but not least, we have the Warriors taking on the Trailblazers. So let's get the Golden State Warriors. Let's get the Warriors. Come out and play. Warriors. Obviously the Warriors record is not that here, so we'll put the Warriors record up here as they play the Trailblazers tonight. The Curryless Warriors here. But they were able to handle business here. Oh, they're actually playing in Portland, my bad. They're actually playing in Portland here, but my dumb asses. But nonetheless here, nonetheless, here we're we'll put both teams on the teams as long as we got the right teams playing each other. Uh, as long as I got the right teams playing each other, that's all that matters to me. And whether we have it marked that this is the teams playing, these are the two teams playing each other. Alright. Alright. So, they're playing in Portland here. The Warriors. So maybe Dame and them play a tougher game here at home. Obviously, the Warriors, got to figure things out now that Curry's hurt. But I think, obviously Clay's stepping up big time here. Draymond's got to step up. I mean, Jordan Poole's got to really step up as well. Some of these other guys, the young Warriors need to step up here and prove that, hey, that's how the Warriors are going to. In my honest opinion, for the Warriors to be competitive down the stretch, is some of these young guys are going to have to get some minutes and have to get comfortable and build like what Jordan Poole has kind of built on a little bit. Some confidence to be able to be relied on. I mean, obviously, they're still a little bit young in around the years and this and that, so they'll have to learn a little bit here. They're going to have to take some growing pains now. But if these guys can grow up and they can learn to be, and then when Curry gets back here, I think that serves the Warriors the best opportunity to, obviously try to repeat for another championship. But it's easier said than done, right? And Portland, 26 and 28. Portland has not been terrible. All right, 26 and 28 is not terrible. I mean, they're nowhere like the Spurs. They're not like the Rockets. They're not one of these just really bad teams that should be, So I definitely think this is going to be a good matchup in Portland. I think definitely Portland plays well at home, so the Warriors are going to be battle tested. I think if the Warriors do win, it's going to be very, very close. And I think if the Warriors do win, it'll be within 3 or 4 points here. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Trailblazers do pull an upset here tonight here. So, well, we actually got through all the sports here today. So, and we actually went an hour and 18 minutes here. So, we're just gonna leave it at this and at that here. So we can get off and do some things and chill and get ready for some of these sports games to start. But we'll be back tonight here with Women Crush Wednesday, or just whatever our mix is gonna be here. So stay tuned for that if y'all want to hop into that and check that out. Whether you check it out while I'm doing it live or you want to do it while check it out after it's cool too. Appreciate to see everybody checking in and looking at, even if it's not live, just kind of looking at it and even leaving a thumbs up or don't leave a thumbs up, just checking out the videos. I appreciate that a lot. Coming from a guy that I'm not ESPN, I'm not fucking Stuart Scott. I'm not none of these guys. I'm not none of these other guys, even on these platforms. I'm a different guy, and maybe I talk a little bit different, and maybe I say some shit to ruffle the feathers, but I have to be that way. I can't be just like every other person. And maybe I talk more both sides than other people do, but that's what I do. I have to be different than someone else, and I have to bring it more than other people can do. Some people could just half-ass it and get up here and just whatever. I have to bring it every fucking single day. But even though I bring it and I do all this other stuff, I don't get no credit. And I'm not looking for, a pat on the back and, good job, Kenny, you're a fucking analyst, and we're going to jump up on a hook on you. But you know what? I know what I'm talking about. And if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you want me to be on your podcast or anything like that, holla at your boy. Holla at me. I'm the person I love to network. I don't mind being a guest star or guest person appearance. I'm willing to, not just be somebody out here doing my own thing by myself. I do my own thing by myself a little bit, but I'm willing to network with other people. And if we want to build a bigger network, I'm willing to do that as well with other people. But, it has to be the right situation, the right time, and it has to be right around the right people. So, at the end of it all, if you want to fuck with your boy and you got better ideas, you got some sports things, and we want to create our own sports little, our sports empire, hit me up. I'm game. If you think that I need to improve on some things and get better, I'm game with that too. I don't mind taking constructive criticism as long as it is constructive. That is. So, with that being said, see y'all tomorrow.